Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
We need to put a stop to this. I had a 45-year-old customer. You want to know why I'm the way I am? So John Tory and Doug Ford and everybody's watching. You want to know why I'm the way I am? I had a 45-year-old customer come in here. Sorry, his wife came in here. He hung himself up at his cottage. You want to know why the way I am? When that happens, and you see your customer fall on the ground, and you see your customer cry, and you see her children have no father because he couldn't take it anymore, and you want to know why I'm the way I am, because this doesn't mean shit to me. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. This doesn't mean nothing to me. This business is just a materialistic thing that I can't take to heaven. But what I can take is what I do right now for our children and our future. And that kid that has to grow up without their father because he lost his two businesses because of these shutdowns and thinking that he had no future and that he thought the best way out was to hang himself at his cottage. Those are the things we're not hearing on the news. Those are the things that we don't see on the news that should be seen. Everybody in this country should be allowed to open now, and it should have never been closed. Because if you're taking care of your, and we're going to talk about that, but when you're taking care of your family, you're essential. Doesn't mean I'm more essential than a gym or anyone else. Well, because I sell food. Come on. Everybody that's taking care of their family and taking care of their kids' future is essential. Period. That's it. Done. And we're going to get nasty about that one because it is what it is. Nobody can do anything to me. Nobody. Nobody can touch me. They can try. They won't succeed. I do everything within the law. I do everything right, and it should be always done that way. And the kids should always be taught that. You do things respectful, but you stand your ground. Don't ever let anyone push you around. When these children have to see us as an example to what the future must be, and we are in control of how things are going to go from this point on. That's the difference. I can't emphasize enough. When you walk through that door, whether you got a mask on or not, you are entitled to feel at home, and we are entitled to feel anything you want when it comes to freedom. My grandfather and those guys left Germany in World War II. All right, brother, love you, eh? My grandfather left Germany in World War II. The difference was, what the Hitler did in those days is very, very similar to what's going on today. And unless we, the people, make the government realize that they work for us, we don't work for them, that they are only in that position because we have allowed them to be in that position. Now, where we are today, this business is essential. We are essential. We've never closed down. The difference between us and what's happening out there is that when you go to Costco, you go to all these box stores, what is happening is that you walk in and you've got the problem. You can create a policy, just pull it out of the air and say, this is my policy and you've got to follow it. That's wrong. I'm sorry. That's not what our ancestors fought for, and that is not right. You do not choose what laws you want to pick and how you want to pick them. When you come into JW Foods, whether you got a mask on, which you should be, if you feel that is necessary for you, you have a right to that choice. But when you come here and you don't wear a mask, you've got a right to that choice as well. Nobody has a right to tell you that you do not have a right to come in. You violate my Charter of Rights, you're violating something that's very, very dear to us that we're going to hold and we're going to stand our ground, because these two young children deserve a future. And no matter what, at the beginning when this virus started, we were all concerned. We didn't know what we were up against. We didn't know who to believe. I don't watch the news anymore. I don't watch TV. I don't watch nothing because it's all brainwashing. If anything has woken us up to the future of our society, is that we've been brainwashed. And now we have to have news media that has to go on the internet because why? What happened on, you guys did a great post this morning. What happened in Australia? Rebel News was taken and they were put off to the side. And the regular news were not touched by the police, but the Rebel News was taken and put under arrest. There is two things going on in this society, and that is a division that must come to an end right now.
Yes. Yes.
I am not an activist. I've never been an activist. I've never done anything that is against the law. I've never done anything except for run our business, been respectful to everybody, love everybody, create a product that was actually very healthy for you. And that's all we've been. For 25 years, I've been saying your digestive tract is so important. Take care of that. Take care of your immune system. Take care of God's temple. Each of us are responsible for you. Nobody has a right to tell you what you do with your body, with you as an individual. Nobody has that right. When the bylaw came here this week, when the bylaw came in, they saw the signs that I got plastered all over my window. And they know, you enter this threshold, you are now violating my Charter of Rights. I will take your name, your badge number, and I'll be respectful. But you damn well better wake up when the courts open back up in this country, because there's going to be a war on your hands. We are going to take everything to court, and I'm not settling for nothing. I won't settle. We'll go straight to the Supreme Court of Canada that is supposed to be the overseer of all of our laws in this country. Why are our courts not open so we can battle it now?
Exactly.
Why is it not open? You know why? They're suppressing the people. You can only do that for so long and push people into a corner. And people say to me, Bill, you know what? Why are you causing a scene? Just shut up, man. You're doing well. Your business is on top of the world. You are doing it. Hold on. Family businesses out there, restaurants, they work their tail off to have salons, gyms, you name it. These people have put their blood, sweat, and tears into what they love and what they want to do. And we have a dictatorship that comes in and tells you you got to close down. Are you serious? Is this the world that we want to live in? Is this what we want as a people?
No.
People got to start waking up, and people need to start standing their ground. My fight, I've had a great life. I'm only in my mid-50s. I've had a great life. My fight is for this generation right here. Our parents and our grandparents fought in World War II. If this was World War II, I'd be signing the papers and securing my wife and my kids up north, and I'd be going across that Atlantic Ocean to fight. Men have lost their way of being a man. I'm sorry. Call it what it is. There's not enough men out there. If what is going on right now, if men don't start waking up and start doing something for their children and their family and their future, this is not a mask over non-mask fight. At no time has this been a mask over non-mask. We all have fears in life. You need to find your demon and you need to deal with it. But I'm telling you right now, you violate my rights. You violate our charter. You violate our common law. You violate everything that is precious to our society as a unified group. Moving forward, there's only so much you're going to push us. There's only so much. And I will be the voice, and I will put my neck on the line to be able to stand strong and say, God put me on this earth for a reason. This might be the reason.
Standing with you, Bill.
Hey, I'll do a quick stand-up,
Yes.
Bill. All right. David Menzies for Rebel News here in Toronto. And you know what, folks? I think I'm either in a parallel universe or I'm back in time circa 2019, because you see, I'm here at JW Foods. I'm looking around, there's about 20, 25 customers, and lo and behold, nobody is wearing a mask. And that's exactly why we're here today, folks. It's because the proprietor of JW Foods, Bill Fair, has a mask optional policy, and everybody here is happy about that. But Bill, I can tell you, it doesn't seem that you've had a great reception with the folks down at Bylaw. They're kind of against freedom of choice, aren't they?
Well, the sad thing here is that we all have a freedom of choice. We always have. We've just allowed them to take that away from us. When you allow somebody to take something away from you, that is where you are giving up your freedom. We won't allow that here. I refuse to fall into that trap. I refuse to allow that to happen. It's happening at other businesses out there, and I won't allow my customers to feel unwanted here. Now, that doesn't mean, and I've said it before, that we don't respect the laws of the land, and we don't respect what they are asking us to do. So I can't emphasize enough to anyone that is wearing a mask out there that is unsure and says, I don't want to really go there to JW Foods. We're not about that. We're about the freedom that when you walk through that door, if you have a mask on, if you are afraid, we have home delivery, we got curbside pickup, we've got every option under the sky to protect you. But the most important thing is, if you want to shop here and have the freedom of everybody else, and I don't understand why the other businesses aren't doing this. If you want to shop here, then you can call ahead and say, Bill, listen, I've got a weak immune system, I've got cancer. Ironically, we have a lot of doctors that send their cancer patients still here. All right, so we're still blessed. But if you are that concerned, by all means, I will bring my wife out here with a mask on, and I'll go in the back room. This is not an anti-mask movement. This is a freedom movement, a freedom of choice, a freedom that you have a right. That is the most important aspect of what we're doing here at JW Foods.
So you're really all about reasonable accommodation. If you need to wear a mask, you wear it. If you don't, you don't. What reaction, Bill, have you been getting from bylaw or the police in terms of them saying, no, these people are supposed to be wearing a mask?
That's funny. So that's two separate things here. The police shop here. No problem. I've never had a problem with the police. That's the beauty. And I'm not going to get into what's going on downtown. It's a whole different topic, and I've got my own opinion on that. But from what the police come in here, I've got the biggest support you've ever seen in my life. Wow. So anyone out there that thinks the police are against you, they're not. There's a big movement happening in the police force, and they are actually on our side, on everybody's side. They are actually, a lot of them, upholding the law. They come in here and they wear their mask because they don't want the pictures, but a lot of them talk the talk. And they feel free to come here to JW Foods. Bylaw now, unless you get something straight, bylaw. And I'm going to say this right into the camera. If you think you can come here and you can intimidate me, bring it on. I want the whole city of Toronto bylaw to come here because you got something straight. Get something straight. You enter that door, and I told you, you enter that door, badge number, name. I'm not intimidated.
But Bill,
I'm not intimidated.
Do you think you should? Do you think you should be careful what you wish for? We saw back in late November, Adam Skelly. He was made an example of by our Mayor John Tory and the public health officer Davila. Literally, all the King's horses and all the King's men came to his restaurant, shut him down, hauled away in handcuffs, charged with multiple offenses. Are you worried about the city maybe making an example out of you, making you the next Adam Skelly victim?
What law am I breaking? It's a simple answer, a question, right? Show me a law I'm breaking. You see, I'm a provincial plant. And you know what? They're going to go and talk to my inspector who already has talking to us. And we are not breaking any laws. You see, a mandate is not a law. A mandate is a suggestion. Law is you must wear a mask. You must do something, but that has to be passed by Parliament, and it has to actually go to the Queen. That's why we have a representative of the Queen. And if you are breaking the law, try to show me where I'm breaking the law. Go ahead. I said it to bylaw. Give me a $100,000 fine. Go ahead. Oh my God. Make sure this gets on there, because I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. It doesn't scare me one flipping bit. And John Tory and all the other the King's men, show me a law I'm breaking. I'm not breaking the law. I'm not breaking the law. That's why, you know what? That's why, if I'm correct, Doug Ford didn't, he made it where if you have a medical exemption, you're exempt. We're all exempt, right?
Yes.
Everybody's got a medical condition.
Yes. Well, we all
Need I say more? I don't violate rights here. I don't break the law. I follow the law. I have in 25 years. We've followed the law. We've done everything right. Never had a bylaw come in here until this year. We need to put a stop to this. I had a 45-year-old customer. You want to know why I'm the way I am? So John Tory and Doug Ford and everybody's watching. You want to know why I'm the way I am? I had a 45-year-old customer come in here. Sorry, his wife came in here. He hung himself up at his cottage. You want to know why the way I am? When that happens, and you see your customer fall on the ground, and you see your customer cry, and you see her children have no father because he couldn't take it anymore, And you want to know why I'm the way I am? Because this doesn't mean shit to me. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. This doesn't mean nothing to me. This business is just a materialistic thing that I can't take to heaven. But what I can take is what I do right now for our children and our future. And that kid that has to grow up without their father because he lost his 2 businesses because of these shutdowns and thinking that he had no future and he thought the best way out was to hang himself at his cottage. Those are the things we're not hearing on the news. Those are the things that we don't see on the news that should be seen. Nobody's arguing the fact that this virus is not real. Nobody's arguing the fact that the people aren't suffering out there and that we're afraid. But it's your responsibility for what you've done to our seniors in these long-term cares that have been neglected for 25 years when something like this hits, and then we got to worry about them. Why is the Army not still at those homes? Why did you pull the Army away from them? These are questions you're going to answer because the last time I checked, that's called criminal. That's called your crimes against humanity. What is happening to our seniors in the long-term care homes is against all crimes against humanity. These poor seniors that are sitting in those homes and being neglected for all these years, and now we're paying the price for it.
And Bill, I'm so sorry to hear about that 45-year-old customer of yours that took his own life, but you've touched upon something I think that's very important, and that is the common refrain we've been hearing for the last 12 months is, quote, "we're all in this together," end quote. But clearly, that's not the case, is it? I mean, when we look at politicians, when we look at bureaucrats, when we look at those employed in the public service, they haven't had a pay cut. They haven't lost a day's worth of pay. There has been no layoffs. There's been no failures. And yet, that is not true in the private sector. Can you speak a bit about that double standard, and also the fact we've had politicians preach to us, i.e. stay home, whereas you had the former finance minister, Rod Phillips, jet off to St. Bart's and pretend he was still here in the GTA. What do you make of this hypocrisy?
You know how I make this? I make it simple. God be with you when the election comes. We're going to hold you accountable for what you've done, for what you've not told the public. We're going to hold you accountable because that's the freedom that we have when it comes to election. You were elected to do a job. You were elected to be honest with the public. Look, at the end of the day, we all know that something's coming. And why I'm getting to that is we all know something's coming. We all know that the Great Reset's about to happen. We all know there's a whole new world order. Empires came and empires left. But you know what? The people always remained. And the people were able to adapt to change. All we're asking from our leaders is a simple thing. Be honest with us. You're in a tough position. Nobody is even going to question that. But when you are telling your people, like the king in the 12th century, you are the king of the 20th century. When you are telling your people to do something and you're not doing it, that's a bad example. As a parent, I would never do that to my children. Tell them one thing and I go off doing another thing. You see, in the world that we're in, everybody's got cameras. Everybody's got technology. We all have some sort of technology. Your sins will find you. Whether you're in Jamaica, whether you're down in the Caribbean, wherever you guys go, your sins will find you, and you will be held accountable when it comes to election year. I am so praying that we as a society hold you accountable for what you've done to us, for what you've done to our families and our businesses and our way of life. All we are asking is to be honest. Say, hey, Canadians, listen, this is what's happening on an international scale. This is what's coming. We as a country must bunker down. This is what we need to do. We need to protect ourselves. I would be the first one to say, oh my God, I will do whatever you say. I will never buck the system because it's in the better interest of everybody. But when you lie and the stats are proving that something's just not making sense, I'm by no means a scientist or doctor, but I'm flippin' intelligent. I ran 2 businesses. I'm not a stupid guy. When you look at the numbers, oh my God, what is going on? I'm going to say this. Justin Trudeau, John Tory, Doug Ford, please take a step back. Please, for humanity and for our country and for our people. Take a step back and be honest. Tell us what truly is going on. I cry because I love my country and I don't want to see it disappear. I don't want to see what my grandfather fought in World War II come apart. This country is beautiful. People respect the Canadians. But what you're doing to us is the most heartbreaking thing as a company and as a person that loves people to see. Please, for God's sakes, be honest with the people. Just tell us what's truly going on so we can all work together and we can come as a nation and as a people and work together. Don't try to cover up the mistakes of the past, because I'm sure, speaking on behalf of all of you, I can say this. Mistakes, we all make mistakes. We all do something wrong. But it takes a man to stand in front of a camera and to truly give his soul and say, I love you. I forgive you. Just please figure this out. Please, on behalf of all of us.
Wow.
Yes. God bless you. Bless you.
Bill, I can see you're very passionate, but you are a businessman, and of course the bottom line is indeed the bottom line. Since you've taken this mask freedom stance, has that been good for business, or has it chased customers away?
You know, when this all started, because I'm a big supplier for a lot of food service, and a lot of distributors come here because of the product that we make. I never tamper with what God's creation was, ever. When we make something, I leave it as close to what God created, because you can't beat that. So that's the values that we have. That's the way we've always been. But when they shut down the restaurants and they started to attack the restaurants and shut down these family businesses, my company went down straight, almost like boom, 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 boom. The only thing that saved us was my customers and my online ordering. We are actually making more money this year than I've ever made in my 25 years in business. I am on top of the world. I have no reason to be doing this in front of a camera. I have no reason. I could shut my mouth, I can make a lot of money, and I've got plans to get other businesses up and running for people that are hurt.
Oh, and you know what? Let's talk about that. You said off camera, just to wrap things up, you are, I think, going to lease or buy another unit in this plaza. You're going to have a gymnasium set up and sell gym memberships, and surely there's a huge hankering out there in the public, I would imagine, to get fit. I know Premier Marie Antoinette, Doug Ford wants us to stay in our basement baking cherry cheesecake all day, but other people need to hit the gym. So when are we going to see the JW Foods Gymnasium open up, Bill?
That was good. You put me on a spot. Hey, I love it. So we own this plaza.
Oh, okay.
Our father built this plaza in the 70s. But the thing is, though, we don't own it because they own the land. So now we're seeing where socialism comes in, right? But I could go another hour's speech on that one. But we're not going to go there. I'm working at it. Okay. I'm working at it. And when I do, it's going to be opened, and I'm not worried about it. You know why? Essential means essential. JW Foods is not essential. Nobody is essential. We all are essential. I am no better than a dollar store. I am no better than a nail salon. I am no better than anyone else that is in business. I should not be allowed to be essential when other places are not. You don't have one thing for one group and one thing for another. This is wrong. We're Canadians. We're free people. We are all essential. And that's why that sign exists. We are all essential. All right? This has nothing to do, again, I say it again and I can't emphasize enough. When people see this video, it has nothing to do with mask and non-mask wearers. It has to do with we are all essential.
Well, Bill, you're very profound. Have you thought about running for office yourself?
They actually, you know what? I got nominated for Ward 22 for City Council. And I warned Andy that, you know what, I'm allowing you to win, because if I went up against you, you would lose. You know what, Doug Ford, and I'm going to say this, Doug Ford, talking about council, Doug Ford, Rob Ford, your brother, was my customer. I took care of Rob Ford for many years. Rob Ford bought all his meals here. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something, a little secret about Rob Ford. God bless his soul. But no matter who has problems out there, we all have problems. But you know one thing about Rob Ford? I'm going to tell you. Rob Ford used to sit out there in his Cadillac, right here on my property, and his security would come in here. He was the mayor of Toronto. And his security would come in and get his food. And every time I went out there, I would try to give him a discount, try to give him a deal. And he said, you know what? No, you're a small business, and we need to respect that, and I'm never going to take anything for free, and I'm never going to ask you for a discount. And he goes, so we would go out there because the news crew would be across the street trying to videotape him to catch him doing something. And we would make a joke. But Doug Ford, I took care of your brother. I know your family very well. I loved your family. I respect your family. Your brother was in my heart. I supported him all through trying to lose weight and to get healthy. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. I know you. I know your family. I love you. I know there's mistakes being made, but we can fix those mistakes. We can come together, all the businesses, and we can go to your office, we can sit down, we can brainstorm, and we can come up with a solution that would come up and save our people. Forget about Canada. Save Ontario first. Let's make this spread. That's why I'm asking. I'm not asking to go against the system. I don't want to be the guy to go against the system. I want to be the guy that fixes it. I love Canada. I love it.
But you know, Bill, it would seem to us that Doug Ford is not Rob Ford.
It's sad. It's sad. Your legacy of your brother needs to be respected. He was a man of men. He was a man of honor. He made mistakes. We all do. But you know what? He stood up to them. He never took a back seat to them. He said, yeah, I've made mistakes. I've done wrong. But you know what? To his death, he was a solid individual, and I'll always respect that.
Well, Bill, I want to thank you sincerely for all your time. I see you got about 25, 30 really hungry customers. They want to check out their stuff. I want to buy a sausage as well. And, you know, I can hardly wait for the JW Foods gymnasium to open up because, you know, folks, I don't know if you know this about me. Underneath this shirt, I have a washboard stomach. It just has about 30 pounds of laundry on it right now. I got to hit the gyms. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, do you own a business and you're sick and tired of politicians and bureaucrats telling you you can't open your shop? Well, if you're going to defy them, please let us know. Please go to iwillopen.com. That's iwillopen.com. Let us know about your reopening. I'll come cover it and make sure the entire world knows about it.